have to dream.
Right.
Because if you don't dream, there is nothing in life. You have to dream. And when you are dreaming, there are no landscapes, there are no corners. It's not in a frame. So you can dream big. Say, for example, when you're dreaming 100%, put your effort into it. Start with a 2%, and then take it up to 10%. Then again, there'll be people who will be pulling you back.
Sure.
But then you have to believe in your dream. Again, that 100%, that you have to reach there.
Hello and welcome to the Dreamcatchers show, brought to you by Vatan Se, hosted by yours truly, Shalima Motian. We'll be capturing inspiring stories, one dream at a time. Associate sponsors, Sattvik Certification Singapore, Sing Advisor. Fashion partners, Kosha Sarees. Media partners, Crazy Talk. Today we have a very dynamic personality at our show. He is one person who's revolutionizing the food industry, especially when it comes to vegetarians. Sattvik Certifications is world's #1 and leading food industry standard developing organization. And we have with us today Mr. Abhishek Biswas, the founder and Secretary General of Sattvik Council of India. Welcome to the show, Mr. Abhishek.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
It's so great to have you here. Now that we have you here, we want to understand everything about Sattvik. So let's educate our audience on what is Sattvik.
Actually, when you go back in around almost 15 years back, nobody was talking about vegetarian people, and vegan was not there at that point of time. But then vegetarian was there, and people from India and around the world, they were traveling to different places and they were carrying their own food. So you must have gone through a lot of people who traveled to Singapore or to go to Malaysia from Indian origin. They are carrying their own food
Right.
because they were not confident about what kind of food they are going to get there. But the point was that the biggest problem they had was of the fooding, and why? Because everybody has worked around meat a lot, but people thought that they were very less takers of the vegetarian people.
Right.
But to your surprise, at that point of time also, there was almost 1.6 billion people worldwide who were vegetarians. And today we are sitting at almost 9 billion people, vegetarians and vegans in the world. So this is a community, and this community needs a logo, needs a mark, needs just they can see that mark and okay, I can eat it.
Right.
Or this restaurant has this logo, I can just go and have it.
So a representation for the vegetarians.
Yes,
basically.
yes.
Okay.
That's what the entire thought process was when I started creating Sattvik. And then in 2014, I came back to India and started the first council, which was basically my main aim was to develop an entire certification. So the journey started almost 2010 when I started writing or some things about that how it should be designed. But I was not getting the right kind of people back in Thailand that time because people really didn't understood what my vision was. Though Thailand used to have full flights, full flights from India to Thailand and Bangkok.
Right. Big tourist destination.
Big tourist destination. But the only problem was that the fooding part was not taken care of. But in 2014, I came to India and I thought that this thing should be able to work in India because in India, we have a lot of native people who are vegetarians, but they are vegetarians even by choice.
Right.
I started the research part. I created my team. I built up a trust. Basically, it was a Sattvik Council of India is a trust in India, which takes care about almost 130 members.
Wow.
And apart from that, we are a big community where we are. When you create standards, you need people from different origin, especially when they are, academics is playing a huge part in this. So people who are from colleges, they were research scholars and There were people who first knitted the first certification, you can say, the first certification as of the manual.
Okay.
So this first manual was released in 2000, I think, 15, because the work was already done 10 years back, 6 years back probably, and we just needed to compile that. And that was the first time when we did the, that was the first manual stating that what is vegetarianism
Right.
and how it should be implemented into the modern world,
Right.
because modern world needed that. When we talk about this entire journey, it was not. I just thought that one manual would be sufficient, but when you go find yourself in the middle of the industry, then you see the latent demand of the industry.
Right. So
So
you
by
expanded to Buddhists and Jains and all also.
then the second manual came, that how your kitchen should look like.
Right.
So say for example, you're cooking a vegetarian food, but it is not necessary your kitchen is capable of cooking that vegetarian food.
Okay. Explain that.
Say for example, Sattvik kitchen has certain rules
Okay.
where we follow those SOPs. The first compliance is the balance of energies.
Oh.
It's there in our Vedas.
Right.
Right, because you must have known happy food, so it comes from a happy person. If a happy person is cooking something for you, that's exactly like a
Totally.
prasadam.
Yeah.
That you put the prasadam in front of the god, and then you take the blessings and you distribute it for
Yeah.
further to take that blessings which goes inside you, right? So the kitchen is keeps a very, very important part in our system.
Totally
That's
believe it.
one of
Yes.
the major,
Right.
so in today also, I mean, if you go to some places in South India, they really have a small havana before they start operating the kitchen. Say for example, Savarna Bhavan, the chain, right?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
still do it. They have
Okay.
they have
Every day.
every day. Every day,
Interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So when we follow these, when we follow these rituals, people say, sometimes they say, oh no, but believe me, there is a scientific reason behind it.
I'm sure.
For everything which you look at mythology now is scientific, and that's what we are trying to prove.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So you researched for literally 10 years before launching it
Yeah.
and before coming out in
Yeah.
a big way.
Yeah.
How is it received in the market right now?
Oh, it took me a while, but I'm sitting in front of you in Singapore and talking to you about it.
Yes.
But
Yes, you've expanded to UAE, Singapore,
yeah,
India. You started out.
Canada, South
Okay.
Africa.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, we're doing wines in South Africa.
And under Sattvik.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, to one of the biggest companies like Bureau Veritas, three in fact, Bureau Veritas, DNV, and UL is selling Sattvik certifications.
okay. So how do these certifications work? How do you train your people for it? And then how do you approach the restaurants? And it's not limited to restaurants. It's pharmaceuticals and cosmetic.
Yeah. So the first 100% Sattvik certified hotel is going to come in Jodhpur,
Okay.
and that is Novotel Jodhpur.
Lovely. Congratulations.
It's on the ITI circle.
Okay.
That's only one Novotel there. It's almost 100 rooms hotel.
Okay.
And that room is certified by us 100% Sattvik. Means that there is no animal harmed product
Right.
or any kind of any alcohol used product, which even from starting from the laundry to go into what they are using in hand washes, what they are using in the bathroom of their hotels, how the lelens are washed, what time you should wash them, what time you should abstract from washing those lelens. So room service is very, very critical, will be very critical in this hotel. You will be requested not to keep whatever you have eaten outside the room.
Right. It keeps lying throughout the night otherwise.
Yes, so
sometimes,
that's
yeah.
bad vibes.
Okay.
So that is not going to be there. Second, say for example, when you do the housekeeping, so when your room is house kept, so say for example you're out of the room and the housekeeping people are doing that. So after they clean the room, there's going to be a mantra, Shuddhi mantra, for 10 seconds. We are training the staff for that.
Okay.
So they're going to use that, and then they are going to close the door. So you have that good energy inside your room.
That itself sounds like a tourist destination in itself,
Yeah.
right? To experience
So you
something
can
like
just
that.
imagine 100 rooms every day getting chants.
That sounds
Yeah.
so
So,
energizing, actually, to go
yeah.
for a holiday
Yeah.
and be in a space which is so
Yes.
clean.
That's what I'm trying to say to you again, that Sattvik comes from, the word comes from Sattva. Sattva is balance. Tamasic, Rajasic, and Sattva.
Right.
On how can you imagine these temples almost 5,000 years ago, and they're still kept intact in south of India, and say some other parts of the world? Angkor Wat could be one nearest to what we have done. It's only because of the standard.
Right.
If there has been no standard at that point of time, what we call today as a standard, ISO,
Right.
if there is no ISO at that point of time, I'm just trying to make you understand that.
Sure.
How can you build a temple which can sustain 500 years? Technically cannot.
Right. Yeah.
So it's only, and that's what I'm trying to prove to the world, that it's only the balance, which is now we can see that the old relics, otherwise they would not happen.
And how is it received in Singapore? India, I can still understand.
Tremendously. Actually, Singapore understand it's more better. Because of the background they have.
Okay.
Yeah, because the background comes from the Malay people and the Indian people, mostly South Indian people. They typically understand. And if you see when India was raided, so certain part was left. So a lot of people could not go to that part. It was only till so a lot of culture and a lot of the things are still preserved there. It did not mixed up.
Okay.
Yeah, because the upper part of India is all mixed up. It's all, the cultures are all mixed up. They have intact, but you don't find that you don't find these kitchens where they still do that. They will do that mud thing, and they will wait, and then they will do. So you will not see. But in South India, it's very common. You cannot enter the kitchen if you haven't taken a bath.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and that is one of our SOPs for the kitchen.
Okay.
That you have to write. You have to give the declaration that you had you actually had a shower today. All the staff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you go about these audits? It's not a one-time thing,
Very
right?
critical. It's like we are what we can relate to ourselves is the nearest in technical world that we can say that we are at par with ISO 22000, which is for the kitchen and compliance.
Right.
I think we are. I can say that I think we are at least 10% more compliant than ISO, because a brand like ITC, a brand like Hyatt, a brand like Taj, why would they take my certificate?
Right.
And
There was a train also.
Yeah, I certified the India's first vegetarian train, and still the Vande Bharat, which is going from Delhi to Katra, it is 100% vegetarian train.
And it had Sattvik certified food throughout.
Look, the point was because this food thing changes all the time because the license it goes with the licensee. Out of the almost 16,000 meals prepared at the Delhi-based kitchen for different Rajdhanis and Durantos and Tejas Express and Shatabdis, 12,000 meals carry my sticker.
Wow, that must feel so good.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, this is something you've been working on, researching on for the last 10 years. You've launched it.
Yeah.
It's so well received. And now you're like expanding it worldwide.
We are touching almost 1.5 million people a day.
Whoa, that's big.
Yeah.
Lovely. So what are the expansion plans now? Let's talk a bit about the pharmaceutical industry. There's so many other places that you're...
Pharmaceutical is again a very typical thing. They have their own prejudices because, for example, there's a company called Velex. That's a big company, and they are doing these capsules. Right?
Okay.
So now they took a vegan certification from us because a lot of people thinking that, oh, this is a gelatin, so I will not eat it.
Right.
especially the Jainis.
And also the older generation people.
Yeah, the Jainis would not do it.
Okay.
When we came into the entire business, and when we were like standing and we could see the entire market around, a lot of thing was supposed to be done for the vegetarians and who are attached to the vegetarian community.
Right. Right.
When you go to airline booking, so they give an option of, you want to have a Jain food or you want to have so there is a Jain food. Right? If it is a Jain food, it cannot be served after 6 o'clock. So say, for example, if somebody is trying to, if you opted for a Jain meal, it's already 8:30 or maybe 12
Right.
at that point of time, and the flight catering service is servicing you. So how relevant it is. That's one. Second, what time suppose we say it's cooked, it's served at 12, doesn't matter, but what time it is cooked.
So there is a specific time
Yeah,
to cook
because
as well.
you cannot cook a Jain food after the sunset. Yeah. Third part, there are a lot of things under prohibition of Jain.
Okay.
So things which are grown under the ground, it's prohibited 100%. So say, for example, if there is a potato in your platter, it's not a Jain food.
Right. So people would know that beforehand, right? I mean, if they are saying that we are serving you Jain food, what criteria are they following? And how is what you are telling them different?
For your understanding, a layman's point of view, is food without onion and garlic.
Honestly, yes.
Right?
That's what we understand. Yeah.
Right? But it's not like that. So that's why we put up a hard 2 years and made an SOP out of it. We made a standard for the Jain food.
Right.
And it was first taken by Sri Ravi Shankar.
Wow, that's such a big blessing.
Bangalore. His Panchakarma restaurant was first we're selling it to, we're selling it to Taj.
Right.
But at that point of time, he was my first client.
Lovely.
So, and Taj Resorts and Spa, Gandhinagar, has made an entire different kitchen for this.
Okay.
And we certified that kitchen. And it worked accordingly. So they will not cook. The cooking is closed after the sunset. There are a lot of additions which are, even honey is you cannot use in Jain food.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because it's an animal product.
Right. Yeah.
So there are a lot of things people don't know. And there's a huge misguidance because, and that's what we are also trying to do. We're trying to fix these spots. It's like, okay, no onion garlic is Jain food. No, it's simply nonsense.
And there are so many other aspects
So many people.
too.
Yeah. And then you are actually, say, for example, Lufthansa is now promoting Indian food in his entourage. And if he's doing something like that, it gives a very bad name to the brand.
So that's where you will go and pitch them that we are well researched and we know what we are doing.
Believe me, Shalima, I have stopped going to the brands now. I don't go. They come to us now.
Oh,
Believe
that's
me.
such a lovely place to be at.
Yeah, because we are right now, I can say, all the ITC is one of the biggest brands, or what I personally feel in India is, Oberoi is ITC.
Right.
Because and Taj is one of these three brands. I feel that they were in India since the independence, and they made the entire, they exactly know how the HoReCa industry runs and how the hospitality industry runs. And these three brands have endorsed us.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So now in Singapore, you are also imparting training to auditors for certifications.
Yes.
And then the second part of the business is that the restaurants are then taking those certifications and putting the stamp there, right?
Yes.
So last time we met, we also spoke about AI, which really energized me. That's the next step, right?
So I will tell you about what we did for the Singaporeans, because Singaporeans should know what we are doing actually. And this is pretty serious. So we are now with the WSQ. We'll be aligning our courses with WSQ. And these courses are lead auditor program courses.
Okay.
So an individual can hop into the WSQ website. They can find our course. They can opt for that course.
Lovely.
and they can become a Sattvik certified lead auditor.
Okay.
Now, what does Sattvik certified lead auditor get after he becomes an auditor? He gets almost $300 for every audit he does for us.
Okay.
Yeah. And this audit can be, and again, apart from that, he gets an opportunity to go inside the, business, just see how the kitchens work. So it's kind of an alignment with the professional, world, what he's trying to do.
Right.
And that's going to be real time.
Okay.
Yeah, because of what we talked about, SPY.
Right.
So I think that we are, again, I'm trying to connect to the Singaporean government to actually bring the Sattvik certification and make this a hub for the entire Southeast Asian market and the world.
Lovely. And congratulations on trying to do that. I mean, Singapore is a lovely market.
Yes.
It's a multicultural society here. So, and of course, it's a hot tourist destination too. So everybody should benefit from that.
And I think the government is pretty serious here for things. And we are already here, and SG mark reflects a very high quality worldwide.
For sure. So this is an entrepreneurial streak in you. You were in Thailand before that.
Yeah.
What were you doing there?
I did a lot of things there, but precisely, I had a fooding business there,
Okay.
and then I was.
So you were always an entrepreneur.
I didn't have choices actually
Okay.
because after my post grad, I really didn't want it to work much. So I worked for 3 years and then I quit it. I thought that no, I cannot get inside that job thing.
Okay.
But yes, always thought of doing things which I could actually create something out of it. So we bought a technology from Baba Atomic Research Center in India. It's all about recycling banana, because banana is a very, very a crop which has got a very high actually low shelf rate.
Right.
It's very low shelf phase. So in India, the logistical loss are really high. So we bought the technology, came to Thailand. We thought of, actually, Thailand was an APAC country. For food business, it's the best country in the world.
Okay.
Yeah, and you get all the support system is there to create some kind of a new food or something. Say, for example, Nestle created Milo in Thailand.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like that. So we went. So I was involved in these kind of businesses, and then that was my basic turn on. And then I started a restaurant. I moved into the restaurant business for a while. But then when I was doing all this, I was like, I was pretty involved with writing Sattvik.
Right. So you always had that in your head that you
Always.
want to do that.
Yeah.
And so what are the challenges you're facing currently?
The first challenge I used to face was within myself,
Okay.
that whether I was doing the right thing or not.
Okay.
Yeah. And a lot of times I thought that, no, I think the concept is not okay. It should not go. People are not going to accept it. And because I was talking to universities, I was talking to Kasetsat, I was talking to Chulalongkorn professors, who, these are two big universities in Thailand, and they all know me. And nobody gave me a nod, and nobody said, oh, Abhishek, maybe you can work about it a lot, and probably you can check with the standards in Thailand, something like that. Yeah, but that's what I said, that the biggest challenge, and still I'm on the same platform.
Same challenges. And I'm sure you've devised some steps to overcome those challenges.
Yeah.
What are they?
I was blessed by by my parents to give me that kind of strength to move something like that. Second, I was always at the right place. I put myself always at the right place.
At the right time.
Yeah. So it's like my first, the kitchen manual was launched by Sri Shankaracharya.
Oh.
Yeah, in India, right?
Lovely.
The Buddhist manual, which I act. Nobody thought about Buddhist people. How do they eat? And it's very difficult to actually make a manual out of it. But we did that. It was a challenging job, but we did that.
Okay.
And then again, I got chance to meet, His Holiness. He blessed me, and his interest was that he really blessed me, that what I was trying to do, because there are a lot of people, look, in Buddhist also, there's a clan who are eating vegetarians, and there's a clan who are eating non-vegetarian also. I'm not saying that, everybody was talking in my team that, oh sir, we don't need this. There's not a market for it. But I always go on that 1%.
Right.
Even if there is 1% vegan in this world,
You will work towards
I will
that.
work towards that.
And where does that passion come from?
Whatever I just come back with, it energizes me a lot.
So you're working literally 12 hours a day relentlessly and making things happen.
Hours is not, Shalma, you cannot gauge all these things in hours because it's not in hours. I don't work in hours anymore.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So now that you know where you are at this time, what message would you give your 20-year-old self?
Follow your passion.
Okay, that's lovely. And what message would you give to our viewers watching that if you have an idea, no matter how crazy it sounds to the world, but if you believe in it, you can make it happen? So in your own words, a message to our viewers on making dreams come true.
I think that the first thing a person has to do, that he has to become a dreamer.
Oh, lovely.
You have to dream.
Right.
Because if you don't dream, there is nothing in life. You have to dream. And when you are dreaming, there are no landscapes. There are no corners. It's not in a frame. So you can dream big.
Right.
Right? So when you actually, say for example, when you are dreaming 100%, put your effort into it. Start with a 2%. And then take it up to 10%. Then again, there'll be people who will be pulling you back.
Sure.
But then you have to believe in your dream. Again, that 100% that you have to reach there. Believe me, when I can give you my example.
Right.
As I told you before, that when I reached that place, when I created Sattvik, I created the first manual, that time I realized that I need another 20 years to actually finish this project.
So it's like one step at a time, keep working towards it.
So the path will open. It'll always open. But then you have to be very positive. The only thing what kept me, the biggest disasters, I said, okay, no worries. I'll come over it. Let's go over it. There was a time when the Indian government, I applied for BIS just to understand. I'm officially quoting it here.
Right.
We are the only STO in India, private, you can not say we are not a government. Actually, yes, we are a trust. We gave our standards to the BIS, Bureau of Indian Standards,
Okay.
To review our standard.
Okay.
We are the only people in the last 32 years
Okay.
that has gone to a FAT committee. There's a FAT committee who says that whether this can be converted into a standard or not, which can be adapted by the Indian government. That was my dream when I started the first thing, that maybe someday BIS can accredit us.
Right.
So you have to dream big, and when you dream big, you just need to put your first step forward, and once you put up the first step forward, never look back.
Never look back, and then I guess keep reinventing and expanding as well. Like
reinvention will come.
Yes. No, you started with vegetarian, then you expanded to vegan and Jain and Buddhist. So once you're on that path, then newer paths keep aligning and opening as well, right?
We are right now operating on 140 codes. We have a codex.
Okay.
140 codes. So you can go to my website, just see.
Right.
So you will have, say for example, you are a ready-to-eat manufacturer, you want us with vegan, vegetarian, Jain, what kind of certification do you want? It's all
explained very well. So we're going to link that in our link.
Yeah, sure.
Now let's have some fun. I have some rapid fire questions for you.
Okay.
How many days in a month do you travel?
Almost 20.
20 days in a month. Wow. And what's your favorite country to visit?
Right now, presently, it's Singapore.
Okay, that's good to hear. Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Tea.
Always.
Spontaneous or very organized?
Spontaneous.
Reading or writing?
Reading.
And your favorite cuisine?
Dal chawal.
Okay. What are you passionate about other than the Sattvik?
Nothing.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's interesting. Do you believe in the power of manifestation?
Yes, I do.
And so
Completely.
this Sattvik is complete
Completely.
manifestation.
Completely.
Fantastic. What's your message to the world?
Uh, the message to the world is that they should understand one thing:
Mm-hmm.
everything is balanced, and balance is sattva.
Right.
So don't be more tamasic, don't be more sattvic, don't be more rajasic. Be balanced.
Be balanced.
That will actually help you to do everything. So you are meditating,
Hmm.
and inside you're not okay.
Well,
Then the meditation is there's no point.
right. Do you meditate?
Sometimes, as I meditate in a way of taking naps.
Okay.
So I do power naps almost.
Okay.
I don't sit like this, but I do my power nap 10-15 minutes.
Mhm.
I get to nice. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, lovely. So, did you encounter a time or certain people that you met and you were like, oh God, they're not understanding my concept? And did you ever have that thought that I want to just give this up?
Let me answer you the first one. What you asked me. So out of the in when I started, out of the 100 people I met, only one person would say yes,
Okay.
and probably he would be my friend or something like that. Oh, you're doing a great job. Just do it. By the time the years passed on, the conversion started to happen.
Right.
So it was 20 to 80, then 60 to 40, then 50 to 50,
Okay.
and then it converted to 100% today.
Right.
And there were times when I really was fed up, and I thought that no, I'm leaving everything for this, because I was not able to completely concentrate on my business, and money was a very integral part.
Right.
But again, the same thing. I thought that I believed in myself. I thought that I'm doing the right thing, and I would not quit.
Okay. And so that is, one underlying theme that I'm noticing in all the people I'm interviewing who are following their passion, never give up, and hard work is the core mantra for everyone. Once they are onto a journey, there's no self doubt that comes, there's no giving up that happens. So, do you think entrepreneurs or dreamers are made of a different material or everyone can do it?
I think it's all circumstantial, but you have to be really, really strong-headed and strong-hearted person
Right.
for that,
Right.
right? So it took. So for example, it has taken a lot for me to come and sit in front of you and giving you an interview.
Really?
Yeah.
After all that
So,
you've achieved, you're
yeah.
saying that?
No, I could say that because it's not a because you really need to be very you have to be very concentrate. You have to concentrate on what your subject is.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and you have to keep believing that. That's very important.
Yeah, single-minded focus on what you're
I have
doing.
given talks in more than 200 colleges worldwide,
Right.
and the only thing I talk to the students is just one thing, because never give up.
Yeah.
Because in today's life, there's a lot of things which are actually attached to, there's a self, another self being is there with you, your mobile phone or your laptop or your people. So there's a huge wall between human to human communication.
Right.
Right. So we have a SatCon for that. It's called Sattvik Consciousness Program.
Okay.
It's being run in Singapore and India. In India, almost 1,500 students are running it. We are running over them.
Wow.
It talks to you about how your food should be.
Okay.
So the biggest problem in India right now is, I don't know about Singapore, after say 16 years or maybe 13, 14 years, when your child is able to handle the mobile phone, right? So you can order food. And you can order food at any point of time.
Right.
So in India, we researched that Zomato was delivering the peakest point was between 3 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Whoa.
And the people who were actually ordering were all teenagers.
Right.
Right. So what they used to do is that, when I'll explain you. It's very interesting. So what they do is that they will do the DND, do not disturb. So the food will be kept outside. even you will not know. There will no bell. So
Right.
and it's your home. You can just go pick up, then go to your room, right? And probably he's eating at that time because he needs more carbs, he needs more, things like that, because he's totally exhausted of what his thinking process is all about,
Well,
right? And that is how these McDonald's and these KFCs, they have actually conquered the entire
Indian
system
market, yeah. Right.
worldwide, for that
Worldwide.
matter. For that matter.
Mhm.
So you're eating the same menu every time.
And then in your dictionary, it would be tamasic food?
Yes, 100% Tamsik.
Right.
So what we are doing to educate the children, that we are talking about trans fat to them. Okay, you are eating one burger, 7 grams of trans fat, which is always going to be there, right? You're eating one burger, 17 grams of, of this thing. So they typically understand what they are doing. So that brings them, at least, if today you tell any 16-year-old, please stop doing it, he will not do it.
Yeah, they will not listen.
They will not listen to you. But if you educate them, at least they know that, oh, this is what I'm eating is wrong. At least they'll do it'll dent something less. So this is a beautiful program we are doing. We're doing with 3 schools right now in India, and
Okay.
we are expanding and it's very cheap. We don't even charge anything for that. We've given it to the schools, and schools are actually running it by themselves.
Oh, nice. Nice. Great. So, on that note, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I hope our audience understands what Sattvik is. If you don't, check out their website and you'll have all the details about it. Please subscribe to YouTube channel of Dreamcatchers and catch us on all other social media platforms of Dreamcatchers. Keep watching, keep getting inspired, and leave us in the comment section what you liked about this, what would you want to know more about Sattvik, and we'll reply to you. Thank you so much. So these are those vatansi kebabs. They're really nice.
Mutton say,
Yeah.
that's a really looks great.